We're going to look at today at the difference between a dependent and independent t-test with examples from sports rehabilitation. Now, in stats, t-tests are commonly used to determine whether there is a significant difference between means of two groups. Now, depending on the type of data you have and the nature of the groups being compared, you would either use a dependent t-test or an independent t-test. Let's start and look at an independent t-test. So what is it? It's also known as an unpaired t-test. It's used when you want to compare the means of two separate independent groups. This test assumes that the two groups have no relationship to each other, meaning the participants in one group are different from those in the other group. When do you use this test? So you use an independent t-test when you have two different groups and you want to see if there is a significant difference between them. Now, using an example from sports rehabilitation, you're comparing the effectiveness of two different rehabilitation programs for treating knee injuries in athletes. Now, Group A follow Program 1 and Group B follow Program 2. After 8 weeks, you measure the knee strength of both groups. Now, you would use an independent t-test to compare the average knee strength between Group A and Group B to see if one program is significantly more effective than the other. So now let's look at a dependent t-test. Now, a dependent t-test is also known as a paired t-test or a repeated measure t-test, and it's used when comparing the means of two related groups. Now, this test is appropriate when the same participants are measured under two different conditions or at two different times. So when would you use a dependent t-test? When you have the same group of participants and you want to compare their scores before and after an intervention or under two different conditions. Now, if we're going to give an example within sports rehabilitation, if you're evaluating the effects of a new ankle brace on athletes recovering from a sprained ankle, you measure each athlete's balance before wearing the brace and then again after wearing the brace for a week. Now, you would use a dependent t-test because you're comparing the average balance scores before and after using the brace to determine if the brace significantly improves balance.